Hey guys, it's Tara, and today I'm bringing you things you should never do to your doll part 2. So let's get started. The first thing you should never do is leave their hair in braids for too long. If you leave their hair in braids for like a really extended period of time, their hair will actually kind of crimp and like stay in the form of the braid. And I've learned this from personal experience because when I was little I used to do that, and it's definitely not good for their hair. So it's okay if you want to leave their hair in braids for a little while, but just be conscious of how long you're leaving them there because it could have a permanent effect on your doll. The next thing you should never do is hold a doll by their leg or arm. If you guys don't know, the doll's limbs are attached by a string inside of the body, and these limbs can get super loose. Their limbs will get looser over time and they won't be able to stand or hold their arms up as well. So the best way that I found to hold a doll is just by their waist, because it's completely harmless and their waist is like cloth, so it's really the best way to pick up a doll. Next is you should never leave any paint or makeup on them for too long because it will stain. So it's okay to do temporary like watercolor or makeup on their face, but if you don't want it to be permanent, make sure you promptly remove it with a magic eraser or just some water and a paper towel. Otherwise it will stain your doll forever, and it's very hard to get off once that happens. Next is you should never use hairspray on their wig. This is pretty obvious, but when I was little I got very tempted to do it. But you should just really avoid doing that because it will damage their wig and will make it have a very different texture, and it just won't be the same as it was before. So just don't do it. My sister did it to her doll, and luckily she brushed it out quickly with like water, but just don't do it. It will make their hair all sticky and weird. And the last thing you should never do to your doll is leave them or their clothes and accessories where a dog or any pet could get to them. I've gotten a lot of secondhand dolls to fix up, and there are so many dolls that have had their fingers chewed off or their toes, and I actually had to replace a whole arm on a doll because a dog got to their arm. So if you want to avoid a trip to the doll hospital, put your dolls on higher surfaces where your animals won't get to them because it's kind of expensive to replace and it's obviously not great to find. So those were just some things that I compiled that you should never do to your dolls. I made this video a while ago and it did pretty well, so I thought maybe you guys would want to see a part 2. If you've been a collector for a while, you probably know all of these things, but I hope that this will be helpful for new collectors and people who are just getting into AG dolls. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below to be a part of the Fab Fam, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!